This is a ripe plantain. You'll notice that the skin is very dark. And that's compared to a green plantain, which is an unripe plantain. And the difference here is that this one is very starchy and they get sweeter as they ripen. And so you end up with a much sweeter product here, but it's sweet in the same way sweet potatoes are sweet, not super, super sweet. So to make plantains, sweet plantains, we're going to cut the ends off. And when they are not ripe, they don't peel very easily. But when they are ripe, it's much easier. So I'm just going to cut a slit down the side, peel the skin off. This is how you do it with an unripe plantain as well. You'd want to cut it down the side like that. I'm going to take this off. And we're going to remove any little bits of extra skin you might see hanging on there, but we're good. So now we're going to take the plantains and cut them on the bias, which means we're going to cut them at an angle. So cut them nice and straight. Make sure your cuts are even. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces and we're going to shallow fry them in a nonstick skillet on the stove. So I've had my oil in my pan warming up while I was prepping the plantains, and you can see how it moves like water. Okay, it's been over medium-low heat. Because of the sugar content of our sweet plantains, we want to cook them over a lower heat. We don't want to flash fry them. We want them to get nice and brown and caramelly. So I'm going to slide them in. You can hear the little sizzle. They can be slippery, so be careful. And then we're going to just cook them over low heat until they start to get brown on one side, and then we'll start turning them. You can salt them at this point as well. So you can see that they're starting to get nice and brown on one side and sort of golden. So that's what you want to look for when you flip them over. That could go a little longer. It really depends on your stove. If you know any hot spots on your stove, just pay attention to them. You can see now how golden they all are. I flip them all over and I'm waiting for the other side to cook. You don't want to rush this. Take your time so they get nice and sweet and cooked all the way through and nice and tender. So we'll just let them go and then you'll see them at the end. Here are the finished plantains, part of the rest of the toppings for a burrito bowl. So serve them alongside your favorite dish. They're delicious.